Hey, what's this scene? I am Reon, and this is Reese Teas. This is Reese Teas. This is Reese Teas. Welcome to Reese Teas. Welcome back to Reese Teas, where we have conversations that matter with people who care. Join me as I connect and reconnect with new and old friends as we sip tea, spill tea, and catch up on everything that's going on in their lives and in the world. So like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell notification so you never miss a single drop. Hi guys, and welcome back to Reese Teas, where we have conversations that matter with people who care. Today's guest is one of my friends from medical school. I have been in admiration of this girl ever since the first time I saw her. I just love that she just touched down on campus and immediately was so multifaceted and got into the business of making campus better for students. And now, as a working professional, she's also wearing so many hats, and I just love her ability to juggle and time manage and be every woman. So I just had to have her on. And she's one of those people who I asked to have on a while ago when the idea was just a seed in my head. So I'm so happy that we're finally doing this. Please welcome Dr. Thais Razark.
Hey,
Hello, darling. How are
thank
you?
you so much for having me and thinking of me.
It is great to
I'm
have
so
you.
honored to be here.
It's my pleasure to have you. So, as I was saying in the intro, from the first day I met you, you were doing, I remember you, if I'm not mistaken, it was like the Leadership Council was the particular club you had joined. I could be mistaken, but the point is, from the first time I met you, you were already doing different things while studying, and I will never ever forget. I think I told you this before. Every time I hear the song Diva, I think of you because that was your name in Miss Monk's Hope when you won, and that entrance you made was everything. So my question is, were you always like that? Were you always the girl who was in everything like salt, as we just say in Trinidad?
Yes, I was. I don't know when I became this way, but throughout like secondary school, that was definitely me. I was like dabbling in everything. And I guess even in primary school to an extent I was like that. I was just doing different things. I don't know how I got it in me because I don't think my family isn't like that at all. I'm kind of like the black sheep. I am the one who, my family is a little bit more reserved, and I am more of a go-getter, trying new things, doing like crazy things. Everybody's just like, study your work, and I'll be like, no, I want to plan this event though, you know?
I feel you.
So I guess I just had it. God put that into me because he knew, this is your calling, Thais.
To be this multifaceted woman,
Yeah.
and now you are juggling medicine, the career, and I'm not sure if you meant to still the subspecialty, but we get into that. You're juggling medicine as well as your brand made in Thailand, and you're also a carnival costume designer. How did you get into sewing?
So my grandmother would always sew for me growing up, and I definitely got a bit of my creativity from her because she would always be making these cute little outfits for me, like little halter tops and pants to wear at home and stuff, and they were very stylish, and I I know that definitely was foundation for my interest in designing clothing, in particular like swimsuits and like resort wear type of clothing. I wasn't always into like high-end fashion to say, but I always had an interest in like costumes. So
Understood.
I remember in secondary school, I was also very much into creative writing, and I'd write a lot of stories, and they would be like fantasy type, and the characters I would sit and draw their outfits, not the actual characters, just their outfits. And I think
Okay.
back on that now, and I would be like, I would just have like in the book that I would write these essays and these stories, short stories, and next to it I would have like a drawing
What that
of the
character was
outfits.
wearing.
Yeah. So it's so funny that I was more interested in the actual costuming
Hmm.
instead of the actual, fashion of what they were doing. I think it's the creative part of it that I like more than making something that is ready to wear. It's more about expressing, like, if it's a theme
I
or
love a
a
theme.
specific character. Yeah, yeah. I love, love, love a theme. Like,
Love a theme.
I go overboard with themes, even when I'm doing events or just planning things in general. If I know, like, today is going to be a day that I'm going to be doing a certain something, and that is the theme of the day, I go hardcore with themes.
I feel you. I look your boy.
Everything.
I'm right there with you. So from there, what took you to creating Made in Thailand, and what is the story behind the name Made in Thailand?
Okay, so I'll start with the sewing. So for me, I have a type of body type that all my clothes needs alternate. I am like 5'3", and I have a big butt and a small waist. So all my clothes,
Yeah.
they're either like too long or the waist is too big, and I would spend like a lot of money in getting my clothes adjusted. And so that's one part of it. And then the next part is that I love Carnival. I love, love, love Carnival. I mean, my family is Muslim, and the thing is, I grew up with my mom going to fats, and she would. I really think this is all her fault, even though she would never admit it. She would take me into Port of Spain with her to, watch mass on Monday and Tuesday. I remember the first time I crossed the stage was when I was in Standard 5. It was 2006, and I crossed the stage with Island People, and the song was "Band of the Year" by Patrice
The
Robert.
Tracy Roberts.
That was Road March. And that is my first memory of crossing the stage. And that has like set the tone of my life from since then, Standard 5 to now. That has set the tone for me and Carnival. And I was always big into Carnival. And when I started playing mass, that's on the Monday where I started to become a thing,
Mm-hmm.
which would have been like 2014, 2015 there.
Mm-hmm.
And I started making my own Monday wear. And I got really creative because I'm extra like that. And I would do like feathers and stuff for my Monday wear.
Nice.
And but it was hard for me seeing that I couldn't sew to then have to explain to a seamstress what it is I wanted and execute the ideas that I had.
Right.
And when I was in year 5,
Because sometimes
and I
it's
was probably
hard to
doing
get
a
an
bit
idea
of,
out of your head to
yeah,
somebody else.
it is, especially when you want something a certain way,
Yeah.
and then they can't really understand how to produce that.
Understood.
Which is also just probably just miscommunication and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had no experience in this. I didn't know how to say what type of cut I wanted or anything like that. I could just kind of like sketch a little something and be like, "Can you make this?"
I feel you. I feel you.
And and I didn't know anything about actually gemming things or how to do feathers or anything. I was just kind of like in my head what I imagined would be the process of making something, and then I just made it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was in year 5, the carnival before final and BBS, I kind of made up my mind that what I is, medicine is right now it's killing you, but it's not going to kill you for the rest of your life. You have to have something else, and this is something that you're clearly passionate about. So you know what, go ham. And I made up my mind that during internship, I would buy a sewing machine, learn to sew, and start making my own thing. What happened was the first 2 outfits I made was myself and Ananda for Bacchanal Road. This would have been in 2019.
Okay.
And
This was last
after
year?
we posted pictures, yeah, it was last year.
Oh,
nice. When we posted pictures and I, obviously I was like made by me, this kind of thing. And people who have been following me would have seen my Monday wear over the years evolve.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is like 3 weeks before Carnival, and I would have people messaging me, "Oh my God, you're sewing now. Can you make something for me?" And that is just how this became a thing.
How it became a thing.
So now to the name of Made in Thailand. So my blog, the name of it was Welcome to Thailand. This was like when I was in Form 2, Form 3, like really young. And it just kind of stayed. And when I started creating stuff, I decided to make like a Finstagram. to kind of like document the process of the things that I've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I called it Made in Thailand because my blog was Welcome to Thailand. And then as this kind of exploded after we drop our Bacchanal Road pics and people are like, what?
What? Okay!
You know? And then I just had to turn the Instagram into an Instagram
It's on
with the name
Instagram.
Made in Thailand. And that's how the name stuck.
How it stuck.
Yeah, it
And how did
wasn't
that
like
opportunity
intentional.
turn into you now being a carnival costume designer with Exousia Mas?
So Carnival 2019 finished. I executed a lot of successful Monday wear pieces. And obviously now my friends are seeing like, oh wow, this is a real thing size. And somebody forwarded me a picture that they posted asking for designers to come forward. And it was supposed to be kind of like a design challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? Just jump out yourself and do it.
Just put yourself. I love
And
it.
I mean, that's kind of like my attitude about most things. I can't really
I've
like
realized
things that
that.
I'm just
And I admire that
things
because
I'm not
lots of
like
people
at
have
all
the
skilled in.
urge, but not everybody actual. Lots of people have like that little, they have the two voices. One I will say, jump out, jump out, jump out. The next one will say, don't jump out, don't jump out. And most people listen to the one that says, don't jump. And I love that you listen to the one that says, jump.
I do. And so I jumped out and they liked my idea and decided to go forward with my design. And I am so grateful for that opportunity, that experience. I learned so much about the carnival industry and production of costumes and how to design thinking of large scale, that you are creating something that needs to be made multiple times in multiple different sizes. How are you going to replicate something like that? It definitely taught me a lot from Exousia and the whole team there. They were very nurturing towards my like design ability, and I'm forever grateful for that experience.
I love that.
It was really good. Yeah.
And we're definitely looking forward to hopefully seeing another. Not himself another. We look forward to seeing several more costumes from Thais Razark in Exousia and in other bands, because there are also designers who design for more than one band. So I'm looking forward to see what you produce next. But with everything that's happening in the world right now, there's unlikely to be a Carnival 2021. We don't know.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago in 2021 is not on.
Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago in 2021 is not on.
But what do you think Carnival is going to look like in the future? And it's ironic that I asked that because your costume had a mask this year. Yeah, maybe you knew something we didn't know.
So I'm honestly really bummy about 2020 because I had a lot of plans to get into like the carnivals of the islands and things like that, and really infiltrate carnivals outside of Trinidad Carnival. Of course, all that dead now. Until postponed, until one of them. I don't know what to expect from a next carnival because, I mean, outside of Trinidad, when you look at like the UK or the US, people aren't living their lives like normal. They are having festivals like
I've
normal.
seen that on social media.
I am like, and I'm like, what's gonna happen here? I mean, I'm very hopeful, but from a medical standpoint, I mean, I don't know how much sense that would make for Trinidad, especially. Maybe, other islands that have had their borders open and they haven't experienced a severe second wave. It can maybe work, but I don't know if that would make sense for Trinidad, seeing as we are one of the biggest carnivals. We have like such an influx of people. I don't know if we would be able to control or to handle any kind of surge.
Yeah, because
so I think that, because we have, I don't think people realize how much money Carnival creates, how it stimulates our
economy.
Yeah, people are saying like, no, cancel Carnival, this and that, but you don't realize it's like a cascading effect. Like, the of course, it's going to affect the bands, the designers, the mask makers, but
The
it's also going to
seamstresses,
affect
the
all the,
dancers, the
yeah,
models, the promoters, the
everybody,
light
the
guy, the sound
hairdressers, the
guy,
nail girls. Exactly. Oh
the
my God,
makeup
the printers who
artists.
print tickets, the
Yeah.
security people. It affects. It will end
The
up
lady selling
affecting
polori
us.
in the savannah.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
everybody who has like a surge in their money making between January and March, all that gone. And I don't think people, I think people underestimate the entertainment industry on a whole in Trinidad. Because again, I do a lot of event planning, and you employ so many people when you plan events. Like people just think it's about like drinking rum and having a good time, but no, you create, it's so much jobs you create
Mhm.
when you're planning an event, and it's so much more to it, and that's a lot of people losing their source of income.
Even jobs that you may not even have necessarily created per se, because there's a friend of mine who I know did TT ride share specifically during Carnival and made a lot of money doing that.
Yeah,
You know, so that
yeah,
they're the jobs that you created and the jobs that you don't even realize that you have generated through those events. So
yeah,
I definitely I don't think, if I could speak for the both of us, I don't think either of us are really in a position to make a definitive statement about how we would go forward. But
yeah,
I definitely think that's something. I know it's a very hard conversation because lives are at stake and people's health is at stake. And when you look
Mhm.
at the debates that go back and forth on the two sides in America, there is that conversation about the balance between the economy and the
Healthcare.
pandemic. You know, so I'm very interested to see how that conversation develops here, as in here in our country.
Yeah,
But I don't think that's a
yeah.
conversation that's. I think I can speak for both of us when I say I don't think we are neither economists nor are we epidemiologists. And I know how social media is, so don't come for us.
So have a seat.
So I don't think either of us, as much as we are professionals, I don't think either of us are in any position to make definitive statements on how to progress from there. But I do
Yeah, I
think,
really don't even know.
yeah, but I do think that's an important conversation for those who have that knowledge and authority to consider.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, because it's definitely like tough. Like, you're not the first person to ask me, what do I see for Carnival in the future? And I just like, I mean, I don't know. I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah, absolutely. I'm right there. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's conversation. I hope you learned something. I hope you laughed. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you never miss a single beat. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye! What is or isn't appropriate for a doctor to post on social media? Thais and I discuss this and more in part 2, which comes out on Tuesday.